Hi everyone, this is Christina Del Rey, and I am doing something a little new. I'm doing Tarotscopes for romance and lovers for the month of August. So you want to check your sign. I have asked my spirit guides to give me the most correct and light information needed for you this month. And I am using the Lovers Oracle, and I am clarifying with the Rider-Waite deck. So, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. This channel is about tarot and astrology and spirituality. Thank you. Okay, Aries. So, what message will we get for you? Okay, Aries. So, we have surrender. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go, and it will all work out. Okay, so that's your message, is surrender. And let's pull 5 cards to see what that actually pertains to. So, spirit guides, we want to ask, why is it here? Why is the message for Aries surrender? Wow. Okay, so you have been very wounded in the past, and you cannot go back to how you did relationships before. You can't. There's something new, but there's like a space you need before you get to that new thing, because these relationships that you have been in before have weakened you. They've definitely weakened you. Maybe took up too much of your energy. So it does feel like you're in a waiting period right now. And even if you're in a relationship, maybe you feel already like it's stalled, or, it's kind of gotten maybe mundane. But right now, like, you have to get your mental stuff together. It seems like, you have to kind of get your energy balanced, because this is a card of meditation, reflection, getting yourself right before you can really get into a committed partnership. And because relationships in the past were perhaps damaging to you, so you have to sort of get yourself together on a mental level. These cards that we have, Temperance and we have Page of Cups, it does seem like there's somebody in your life, perhaps somebody who is emotional, maybe more emotional than you. Maybe coming in, maybe they're there already, maybe they're coming in, but the balance isn't there yet because Temperance is reversed. So, you kind of want to stick to this. Now, this person coming in, I think, you have to be more mentally stable than they are. You have to be ready for some emotional ups and downs. It does feel a bit like it could be, like a soulmate connection, somebody that you feel very deeply for, but their energy could be, not always at the highest vibrations. You have to be aware of that. So I think that this is the key card here, surrendering, because this card literally means surrender. And surrender at the times we must surrender the old before something new can come into our lives. So what I would say is, if there is somebody hanging around, you might want to just wait on that, and kind of let the flow come. Don't force it. Like, this to me says it's forced. You want to let go of the attachment to the end result, and you just want to let those opportunities flow in for somebody to come in. But the biggest thing is that you have to let go of what happened, all the emotions along with that, and the person, because this could also be a person too that you're not letting go of. So you have to kind of get rebalanced so that you're strong enough for another relationship, or if you're in a relationship, maybe, maybe you need to tell that person they need to get some help, some mental, counseling, or, they need something. They need to talk to somebody perhaps, but really it's all about you and, getting your own stuff together. All right, Aries, have a great month. Hello, Taurus. So what is going to be your love message for the month of August? Let's see. All right, so we have, look inside yourself, examine what is causing you to feel this way. So we are going to ask the spirit guides to give us 5 cards that accurately explain why this message is for you this month. Okay. Look inside yourself. Why is it here? Why is it here? Okay, so we have maybe some choices that were out of your control a little bit, maybe choices that were made for you, or maybe choices that you made and they were not the best choices. And it could have been in a relationship, perhaps the person that you were with. We have here the Empress and the Devil together. And I kind of see this as somebody that you're bonded close to, maybe in a marriage, maybe just in a partnership, a committed partnership. But it feels like, things got maybe too comfortable, or maybe things got too controlling, even, it's possible. But things got stagnant. It could have even been abusive. It's possible. And you could be the abuser or you could be the abused. You have to realize that roles change. So it just feels like maybe the person was abusive and, you felt like you were not in control anymore. And you kind of felt stuck too. Even though you could leave, but it feels like, like you don't want to leave, or you didn't want to leave if it was in the past. And it's just like the home area seems very upset. It's not well, the home area. And it's emotional, it's out of balance. It's almost like you're letting go of something in the home area. Could involve your children as well. This is, or it could be somebody that you knew for a really long time too, because this is the card that, like maybe you were together for 15 years or something, and you're finally letting it go. That's always possible with this. And, maybe the commitment, it's not like the love wasn't there, it was, but maybe it just, it served its purpose. Maybe, its karmic time is done. And, when a lot of times when humans don't want to see that a cycle is finished, we get into control issues and trying to control one another, and that can lead to abuse. But even if there is not abuse here, and it's just commitment and marriage or whatever, it's possible that you just want out. And with Uranus being in your sign, it is very likely that you want to be free. And the last card is this, and this is, this has passion. There could be a male coming into your life, or a female, it doesn't matter, somebody with masculine energy, that, is new and exciting, and maybe you need to be free to experience that. Or maybe this is you, going your own way too. Whatever it is, you have a lot of passion and you're ready to give it, and you're ready to let this last cycle go. You're ready to, if you look at the cards, they have chains around their necks. You're ready to take off the chains and, feel the emotions, really feel the emotions and feel the loss. And then, only then, can you move on and, go to the next level, and be free, and start your new lessons in life. Because, especially for Taurus, you're moving into the next cycle of your life. So this represents the next cycle. This represents letting go. So don't hang on. Do not hang on, because that's going to make it way, way worse. Just trust your intuition. Don't blame anybody for anything. Try to stay in the highest vibration. Things happen. We have to let them go. All right, Taurus. Okay, Gemini, we want to ask spirits, what love message is for you this month, for the month of August? Okay, so we have embrace. Embrace through each other, you'll find the missing pieces. Okay, so we want to ask, why is it here? Why is it here for Gemini, spirit guides? Give us information as to why this card and this message is for Gemini. Okay, so if you are in a relationship right now, it seems like you have been through a tough time together. Even maybe like people getting in the way, or, perhaps there was like a love triangle situation, and maybe people getting in the way stopped this relationship from becoming what it could be. But it does look like you're entering a new cycle. And whether this be, through a new person or through the same person, that's going to be up to your free will. But the Page of Swords here says, like, you need a new mental thought process. So you need to higher the vibration of your thoughts. So, you need some freedom. You need some distance to kind of think about what went wrong, and why this relationship didn't measure up to what you thought it would be. Perhaps there was another person. This tends to be the cheater card. So if there was another person that could have kind of come in and kind of disrupted things, but things wouldn't get disrupted if it wasn't meant to be. There's a reason why things get disrupted. So what lesson are you supposed to learn from that? And are you supposed to continue with this person or not? And that is where the Page of Swords comes in, where you're really not sure, but you know that you need like a new mental clarity on this. This can be someone coming in new, and maybe they have you thinking on a different level. Maybe their mental level is kind of getting you out of the rut that you were in before, and maybe it's much healthier. But I would say, make sure that you're doing the self work, because if you don't, like, you're not going to be, you'll find yourself in the same predicament that you were in last time. And this to me says, if you put it out there, like, I think like a new sexual relationship possibly coming in. First, you connect on a mental level, and then on a physical level. But this can also be a card of manifesting as well. But Page of Swords, definitely like connecting on a mental level. So maybe putting it out to the universe. Manifesting, I do have a video on how to manifest. I will link it below. But there definitely needs to be a change in the relationship. If you are in a relationship and you're in a committed partnership, then counseling, or, maybe new truths. Maybe you're going to be more honest with each other now, and that is necessary. And that can lead to more sexual bonding and more, more honesty and more passion too, because, wands has to do with passion, but it's almost like, well, Gemini, of course, you can't really bond with anybody if you don't have a mental connection. So if that mental connection's not there, it's not going to work for you. In other words, in order, you have to have the mental connection in order to be sexually aroused. One really doesn't usually go with the other, not for long anyway. You might, maybe for a little bit, but in order to make it lasting. So you have to look at the past, whether it's a past relationship or the past cycle. Where did feelings get out of control? Who was distant and not talking? Were they talking to somebody else? Were their emotions out of control? Was there a third person? Maybe it's not even the third person. Maybe it's not even like a girlfriend or boyfriend. Maybe it's like a parent or something, you know what I mean? But there's like somebody in the way there. And then, it kind of flips the whole world upside down in the relationship. So it's almost like you have to get your mental clarity, and then you have to manifest a better situation. And if you both are not on the same page, it's not going to work. But in the more positive, if you are on the same page and you're ready to talk, and you're ready to go to counseling, or you're ready to be more truthful, then that could be a lot of really good sexual, passionate energy. Or maybe you'll meet somebody else on a more mental level. All right, let me know in the comments below what is going on in your relationships, Gemini. Okay, Cancer. So what is your message for your love message for August? So I am going to shuffle. We ask the spirit guides to give you the best message possible for this month. Okay, so playfulness. Playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together, and remember, love is the greatest healer. Okay, so we want to clarify that with the Rider-Waite. So we're going to ask playfulness. Why is it here, spirit guides? What does Cancer need to know for August? Okay, so it looks like, you've spent a lot of time, Cancer, kind of contemplating and maybe even worrying over things. Cancers do tend to be worriers, so, like a lot of sleepless nights, that kind of thing, and just very suspicious of, people. Maybe there was a situation going on where somebody wasn't being truthful with you, and you, you were constantly wondering about it, and you were kind of injured in the battle. And maybe you have been on a timeout, maybe a timeout has been where you have been mentally, or maybe you need a timeout from all this craziness. And it looks like, all these things, you were probably very sexually involved with this person, but somehow you got hurt. So through the sexual relationship, there was hurt and worries too. So I don't know whether that's, worries about, if they were having sex with somebody else, or worries that, that they wanted to maybe, or, maybe there was, something that wasn't quite right in the sexual relationship, but it's likely that you were suspicious of something, or you were, kind of injured by that, and really need like a new, like a timeout. So in the future, we have the High Priestess and the Moon. So Cancers definitely tend to, and this is actually the Cancer card right here. Well, kind of both of these really. it's really saying that you're not listening to your intuition. You really have to kind of get honest with yourself, I think. Like during this time out here, you have to get honest with yourself. And, we have the moon. If you don't get honest with yourself and follow your intuition, because Cancers often have a problem with figuring out what is anxiety and what is intuition. So it's like your emotions are all every which way, and they're very negative. Your emotions are negative. So how do we get out of that? Like playfulness, laughter. Watch a comedy show. There's a lot of comedians on Netflix that you can watch. Just, you have to higher the vibration. The vibration seems very low in this relationship, or your mental state in the relationship, and you need to higher the vibration here with some playfulness. If you are in a relationship right now and it's been kind of, stagnant, what you need to do is follow your intuition and begin to start doing fun things together, or watch, fun things on TV, or lighten the mood a bit. Cancers do tend to make themselves sick if they worry too much. So, you definitely don't want to do that. And I think because the moon is here, secrets need to come out. Cancers hold their secrets in. I have Cancer rising. That's me. I definitely do that. And we don't give everything away. We hide a lot of information. And sometimes we even want to control with that information. And you cannot control. You have to surrender. You have to surrender to the power of the universe and your intuition. So I think that this is what is going on. So in the relationship, you want to not focus on control. It's really hard, right? You want to not focus on control. You want to unattach yourself to the outcome of the relationship. If it's meant to be, it will be. If it is not meant to be, then it is not meant to be. But trying to force it or control it, that's not going to help. But playfulness can add back in. What happens is your energy, when you are worried all the time, Cancer, and you're suspicious all the time, it takes all your energy away from things like having fun. You can't have fun. So your message is to get with your partner, get honest, don't try to control, and to have playful time together where you're actually having fun and you're enjoying things and you're being present in the moment. And then let things flow from there. Okay, Cancer, have a great month. Okay, Leo, so what is your message for this month? So we want to ask spirit guides to give us the best message possible. And we want to clarify the message with the Rider-Waite. So here's the message, is trust. Okay. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. Oh, I love that for us. As you probably know, I'm a Leo. Okay, so we want to know, spirit guides, why is trust our message? What cards do we need to know to clarify this message? What message? Why is it here? Trust. Why is it here? Okay, so let's look. Okay, so it's possible that you were in a relationship that you thought was very stable, and maybe you thought things were okay, but that wasn't really the case. Maybe you thought that everything was, balanced. And we have here the Temperance, which is balance, right? Really nice card. And maybe at one point it was balanced in the past. But it's like, the other person, always had thoughts, or maybe you had thoughts of like escaping, or, not wanting to be in the situation, kind of wanting to maybe be with other people or just kind of escape. But it does seem like, that there were happy times, and, maybe these feelings got put back on the back burner, whether they were your feelings or the person's feelings. And you had somewhat of a, happiness. There was happiness there, definitely. But I don't, it just seems like something was lurking in the background always. And that, it does look like there was a sexual connection here. But I don't know, it feels to me like this card says like somebody was holding back mentally. They weren't telling you what they were thinking. Maybe they were telling you what you wanted to hear. And, you thought, well, it's all good, right? It's all good. So it does seem like the sex was decent, or is decent, what's going on. But if, and if you're in a current relationship, you just want to ask them, to be a little more honest with you. Like, what are you holding back? Maybe, maybe have a moment where you, have some time together, relaxation time, and talk about what's really going on behind the facade. Is probably a really good idea for Leos. Wheel of Fortune. So it does look like you guys have it all, or had it all, at one point at least. And then, whether you're in a current relationship or not, there's a very different energy here. It's like where the person's moving away. So what I think maybe here is, it's time for a new cycle. Wheel of Fortune's all about cycles, and maybe this relationship has to transform somehow. So we have to move away to get to the truth, because it's like the energy gets stagnant, and unless we renew it, and this could be just you in a relationship and you renewing the energy there too, where you have to have like a new trust for this person. So maybe like sitting with the person and saying, okay, these are the thoughts I have, or these are the insecurities that I have, this is what I'm afraid of. And now you can start a new cycle where you're trusting, and that's going to transform it. But there's definitely like a transformation in relationships here that needs to be had. And then like once you have that conversation, that honest conversation, it does feel like you can begin again, or reap the rewards. This is like you guys definitely bond sexually, but there's two ways that this can go. You can continue on with your relationship and start a new cycle, or you can move on and find another person. And this card says, that that new person will come. You just have to kind of manifest it, and and start again, but trust somebody else. You have to kind of trust that whole. You have to kind of become transformed and trust somebody new, and not let the old cycle affect it. deep stuff. But, you know, I think it's important here too to say that, like, you know, we don't, I at least I don't believe that we have one soulmate. I feel like we have many. And, you know, people come in, their souls come in to teach us a lesson, or, you know, to erase, you know, to work out karmic debt to each other. And then when the cycle is done, it's over. So we have to move on, we have to transform. And really trusting the universe. And I think that, you know, for me, that's been a huge issue as a Leo, is trusting. So I'm really working on trusting the universe to put me in the right direction, working on my intuition and my passions too. So there is a lot of passion here. You just have to get yourself right mentally, either by yourself or in the relationship that you're in. Okay, Leo, I think it'll be a good month, because I think that, you know, I think we're going to start seeing the rewards of the work that we have been doing on ourselves. So, and if a passionate opportunity comes, and it may, because this is the card we're ending on, then you absolutely should go for it. Be safe always. Thanks, Leo. Okay, Virgo, so we want to know what your love message is for August. What is Virgo's love message? Okay, so we have surrender. At times we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. Okay, so surrender is your message. So we want to clarify this. Surrender, why is it here, spirit guides? What does Virgo need to know? We want to pull 5 cards. Okay, so, wow, all right. So there's a few people here. Okay, so in the past, there's been somebody who came in and perhaps, you know, started out slow, but kind of got hot and heavy. And, you know, this is King of Pentacles energy. So I'm thinking this is a person who has his life together. He has money, maybe, security. He is a person, and, you know, and maybe this kind of started out with a sexual bang here, and like a sexual attraction. And then, you know, you kind of got maybe a little hooked on this person. You know, he definitely has his self together money wise. He has a certain amount of power, or she. I don't mean to be sexist. But, you know, it's a masculine energy, so it can be a he or she, but a masculine energy. And this person, you know, they have a lot of power. They have a lot of standing in the community. They're known for being honest, and they just have their self together. And we also have here a King of Swords, a Page of Swords, and then, like, you know, and then you, like, not sure what decision to make here. And if there was ever a card of surrender, I suppose that would be this one. So it is ending on a surrender. But the King of Swords is like saying that maybe the King of Pentacles is not always communicating quite as you need him to. Or this could be two. This could be two different people too. This could be, well, I have a choice between this guy that has his stuff together, or this guy that I'm mentally attracted to, or woman, you know, same. And there might be a new beginning with this new person, you know, that hasn't really taken off yet, but you're kind of like, I don't know, like, maybe this is it. Maybe I should move away from the Pentacles guy who, he's really sexy and got his stuff together, but maybe he's not always there. Or maybe, I need more. So if this is two different people, one would be very down to earth and passionate, and the other one would be more mental connection. If this is all one person and one relationship, then I would say your person that you have this connection with is maybe not communicating all the whole truth, or maybe they're just communicating like what you want to hear and not the entire situation. So it kind of calls for, I think like you need to step up and say, I'm calling a truce here. We need to start to connect on a communication level in a new way. So if this is your King of Pentacles that you're still dealing with, then you guys have to communicate in a new way, a new direction, a new cycle. You have to decide, my dogs, you have to decide that you're going to be honest, more honest and open. So, if the person wants to be free, then you need to let them be free. You need to clarify, basically, and it needs to be an honest conversation. Oh my gosh, they must see something in the door about that. So maybe this needs to be like, are you talking to anybody else? Are we exclusive? You know what I mean? Like, what are you thinking? You need to text me more. I don't know, whatever it is. But there needs to be more of a mental connection here for you. And I think that what this is saying too is that, you're kind of stuck. You don't really know what to do. Especially if this is two people, you don't know what decision to make. You're kind of stuck. But you're not really stuck. Like you are, but you're not. But I would say, because you got the surrender card, I would say that at times, so it says at times surrender the old before something new enters our life, and it will all work out. So, maybe you are just going to say what you need to say to both of these people, or to the one person that you're talking to or you're in a relationship with. And then you're going to kind of let it go. You're going to let the universe decide if that person is going to stay in your life or they're going to go. But I think that this is saying you need the mental clarity for this. Like you don't stay stuck for long. Something new is bound to come in, but not until you surrender control. And maybe that's the lesson here, is that you don't have control. You can't will it into being. That person has their own thoughts. You have your own thoughts, and keep your thoughts in the highest vibration possible, but trust that whatever happens is supposed to happen, and that's okay. All right, Virgo, have a great month. Okay, Libra. So we want to know, what is the message for Libra? We want to know, what does Libra need to know for the month of August? Okay. A message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. All right. So Libra, maybe you are in a partnership with someone very hot and heavy. Let's see. Why is it here? Why is this message here? We ask, why is it here? Why is this message for you here? All right, so all right, so it does feel like you have, it does feel like you're with somebody who loves you. You kind of feel like you have it all with this person. is the King of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune, which means that you got lucky with this person. This person came in and you got very lucky. This is the Queen of Pentacles, you know, and it roles reverse, and so do the sexes. So I'm not, you know, he or she can be, it's just a feminine energy or masculine energy. So the more feminine energy is, you know, even though she has the King of Pentacles and feels really fortunate, she's kind of a little insecure, you know, not used to all this, not used to what's going on, and she's maybe even like feeling like a little intimidated. She feels very lucky, I think, but she's feeling very intimidated. I think that she sort of needs more balance, you know. Justice is the balance card, and you know, maybe the King of Pentacles has come on very strong and she's kind of getting her bearings. Or if you're in a relationship currently, maybe, you know, and you have been for a while, maybe, you know, you guys have had that beautiful relationship, and you know, the masculine energy has been amazing, but the more feminine energy in the relationship is just not feeling her best at the moment, and more balance is needed, maybe more partnership time, like spending time together, just the two of you, so that you can talk, you know, you can kind of see what's going on, and maybe, like, you know, take care of some of those insecurities. It does look like there's a bit of a battle coming up, so maybe like a difference of opinion, you know, this coming up where you need to kind of balance, you know. So if you guys have a difference of opinion, and this could even like pertain to sex, because, you know, wands are sex, and you know, maybe you guys have a different idea of what sex, you know, should be every day, or, you know, like maybe there's just some confrontation there, you know, you only want to be with one person, or they want to be with other people. Like, you really have to have that conversation so you know what's going on. And this is the Justice card, so, you know, you have to be fair, but all cards out on the table with the Justice card, you know, about sex and intimacy and everything, but you guys do seem to have different opinions, so you have to have those out there. But I kind of get with this feeling that, like, it almost motivates you. Like, you kind of feel passionate about it. Even if you disagree, you're almost like passionate about the disagreement. So also too, like, I would be careful about other people getting in the way of your happiness. You know, like, here's, like, you know, Justice, like, you know, like, I'm thinking, like, you know, you guys have your relationship, and then, like, other people are coming in and trying to tear it down. So you want to be careful of that too. You want to make sure that you are strong enough together to battle other people coming in. But, you know, like, relationships are not good unless they can survive the tough times, you know. So if a tough time comes up, you really need to look at that and decide, are you on the same team? You know, do you both believe the same things? And if you do, you know, you really need to be on the same page and not let anybody else come between that. And there does seem to be a lot of love here. You know, it says, I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your light fills me, your love fills me with light, and I love you. So, you know, the Queen of Pentacles, the more feminine energy is not feeling that great, but it does feel like, you know, there's a lot of love here and a lot of healing love. So if, you know, the more feminine energy is not feeling good, then maybe he, the King of Pentacles, can bring in some love to kind of, you know, heal. But it does look like a battle is coming, so you both need to be prepared for that, I would say. So use love, you know, use love as a weapon against others, not against each other. Okay, Libra, have a great month. Okay, Scorpio, so we want to ask the spirit guides, what is your message? What is your love message? What is your relationship message for the month of August? So what Scorpio's message? Scorpio. Okay. Romance. Cupid's arrow strikes. Okay, so we're going to clarify that. Okay, so Scorpio has romance. Cupid arrow strikes. Why is it here? We ask the spirit guides. Tell us why it's here. Okay. All right, so, oh, Ace of Pentacles. So maybe you had an opportunity, or you have an opportunity coming in, and you know, you're kind of coming out of a time when you were sort of alone. You know, you were kind of contemplating, and or maybe you're contemplating about the opportunity that came in. Whatever this is, it's like you're coming out of hiding, and you're kind of letting your emotions get involved too. So if you are you know, at Cupid's arrow, I mean, that would totally be the Ace of Pentacles. And you also have the Ace of Swords reversed. So it's almost like, yes, a new person is coming in, but there's a lot of emotional stuff. You know, you're kind of coming out of your, maybe you're coming out of a new cycle, you know, of an old cycle, and you're kind of showing your emotions. But at the same time, I want to caution you about losing control of your emotions, which Scorpio is kind of known for. Scorpio is very intense and deep and obsessive, almost controlling, right? But how can Scorpio not be that? Well, Scorpio has to transform and turn, you know, Scorpio is the sign of alchemy. So there's a romance, but it's almost like you have to use your free will to make it be balanced and not unbalanced, because Scorpio wants to obsess. This is obsession. Scorpio wants to think too much and dive in too deep. This is diving deep, right? But that can put the energy like completely out of balance. And maybe even, you know, like you're being very aggressive with this new person coming in, or if you're already in a relationship, you know, maybe you are just coming into a cycle where you are being more aggressive with the person, and you know, your emotions and your thought process is kind of out of balance, and it really needs clarification. I mean, you have 3 ace cards here. So there's definitely, like, if there was like a new opportunity, Cupid's arrow, it would definitely be 3 aces. So opportunities are there, but you have to let your obsession go. You have to let your emotions go, and you have to trust that it's gonna, you know, the right thing will happen. You can't control it. This kind of says control to me. You know, your emotions are out of balance, so you want to maybe mentally control the person or the situation. No, that's not how it works, unfortunately. You have to do your best and surrender the rest. Nadia Shah always says that, and I always think of that. You know, like it's like you don't know what to do. Scorpio feels so deeply many times, you don't know how to regulate it. So, you know, learning how to surrender your thought process, detachment. Really, this is saying that you need to detach a little bit more in your relationship or in your relationships and let it flow a little bit more. I'm going to pull one more card just for some clarity. Yeah, so it just feels like you're obsessing. And, Scorpio does like to obsess, but you have to get control of those thoughts. We have the Queen of Swords reversed. We have the Ace of Swords reversed. We have the Ace of Cups reversed. And what that's saying to me is that you don't have your thought process, your mental situation under control. And your emotions are fueling that. So we actually have some really good, if you go on my page, there's some really good church services that just talk about spirituality, detachment, ways to gain control of your thoughts. I will link it below, because I think that right now, whatever you can do to not obsess, that would be great. And just kind of trust the universe. Trust that if someone's coming in, they're there for a reason, and you're not going to control it. Let go. That's my advice for Scorpio. Let go. All right, Scorpio, have a great August. Sagittarius. So we want to get your August love message. So spirit guides. So I think we got it. Let us know what Sagittarius needs to know. Deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Okay, so we want to know why that's here. So we're going to ask the Rider-Waite deck. All right, so we have this message for Sag. Why is it here? What do they need to know? Thank you, spirit guides. Thank you. What does Sagittarius need to know? Okay, so it does look like, it does look like you're in a relationship that's pretty good, to be honest. There's a lot of really nice energy here. It looks like, maybe you came out of a harder time and you met somebody who was adventurous and you kind of took a chance with them. And you kind of have been happy. This has kind of been a really good relationship and you've been really happy with it, and you're not sure what the next step is, perhaps. You guys you're comfortable with each other, you have good sex, it's adventurous, and we have like the Fool here, okay? So that's adventure and like kind of stepping into the unknown. And then we have, the Happy card, like, kind of shows us that you're a good couple, and maybe you even want a more long-term commitment with this person. Maybe you want to move in together or get a house together or get married even. And because this person makes you happy. Or if you're already in a relationship, maybe you want to, maybe if it's a long-term partnership already, you want to adventure more together. You want to explore together, because that's what Sagittarius does. They explore. So we have this Nine of Cups kind of sitting here, and he's content, right? So seems like you're content in the relationship. However, we have this reversed Magician. Okay, so it says deep in your heart, your message for August was deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. So it almost feels like you're supposed to go to the next step in this relationship, whatever that next step is for you, but you're not sure. You're not sure exactly what you want to manifest yet in this relationship. So I caution you to think very carefully. If you want to spend the rest of your life, or you think with this person, or you just want a more committed partnership. You need more time to think about that. But I should say you probably should talk about it. I think you're going to need more time to kind of put it out there to the universe. It almost feels like you're supposed to check with the other people in your life. If there's kids involved, or not that that's the end all be all, but you just want to make sure that you're manifesting correctly, that you don't want bad feelings in the mix with this. So if you are combining, let's say you're combining households, like his children and your children, or something like that, you want to make sure that everybody is on board for this before you just say, oh, guess what we're doing, because this could kind of skew the energy. So it's like deep in your heart, what you're supposed to do, but you have to kind of feel it out and see what the right answer is. And it's not there yet. So it's almost like your mind is playing tricks on you, and it's just not clear yet. I'm going to pull one more card to get some clarity. Why is the Magician here? Spirit guides for Sagittarius. What is that Magician all about? Okay, so it's more manifesting. It's more like putting the idea out, and then it will happen based on, a little bit of time. And, you kind of, I guess this is probably saying don't jump the gun, especially if you're thinking commitment wise. It just kind of looks like, you're looking for commitment. So you want to put it out to the universe. You want to be like, yes, I think in the near future we should, or in the future we should perhaps move in together, or perhaps we should, get married, or whatever it is for you guys. But we're going to wait a little bit yet and see what happens. We're going to feel everybody out. We're going to make sure that nobody's trying to sabotage, especially those close who are involved. Okay, so look out for that. But it does look like it's positive in the end. It's just going to take a little more time than maybe you wanted to. And if you are already in a relationship, I would say, enjoy each other, adventure together. Go in, I think of restaurants when I look at this. Go eat together, go adventure together, be together, spend alone time together. Go eat dinner, and then, go have some really good sex. That's what this is saying to me. And, just have some really nice, intimate time. And what will come out of that. All right. Okay, Capricorn. So what is Capricorn's message for this month? And we have, you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there is always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. Okay, so what does this mean for your relationships, Capricorn? So we're talking about Capricorn. Why is it here, Spirit Guides? What information does Capricorn need to know? What information? Why is it here? What information does Capricorn need to know? Okay, so somehow I got 6 cards, so that's interesting. All right, so there's definitely a feminine energy here that it seems like, you're moving on from. So this could be a past relationship that is starting, you know, that you're moving away from, and, you know, you're kind of moving on, but, you know, you're not super happy being alone, but yet, you know, the choices out there are not so great. I mean, here you are moving, here's the person, you know, the more feminine energy that, you know, you're moving away from. So, and then we have the world, but the world is reversed. So it's almost like you felt like maybe you had the world with this person, but, you know, it was like a breakup, and like now you feel like, you know, you'll never get that back, or you know, you feel like, and then like you're like, what are my choices? They're not so hot, and like you kind of feel like maybe this choice was made for me and I should have made other choices. So there could be like regrets here too. And we have the Death card, but reversed. So it seems like there's a transformation here that needs to be had. But it's almost like the transformation has to come out of, you know, like acceptance of the breakup or acceptance of whatever happened in that relationship, and, you know, not holding on, because it almost seems like you're still holding on to what happened in the past, and it's really going to be necessary for you to let go, you know, and trust the universe too. So when I look at this and it says, you know, you don't understand why things happen, but there's a higher purpose. So, you know, this card here talks about turmoil, right? It says, through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. So here's your turmoil, okay? And actually, you know, like even this, you know, you felt like things were out of your control, your choices weren't balanced, and but now, like, you're almost still like trying to control the situation because of this. You know, it's like you're hanging on to what you have, and you're not trusting the higher purpose in all of this. Let me pull one more card. Yeah, like it's just almost like, you know, you're just hanging on. You know, you're carrying like a burden when it comes to relationships. And maybe, you know, maybe there's opportunities, but you just feel like you can't quite get there. You know, you can't quite let go enough to really enjoy it too. Like, you know, maybe there's you know, like a sexual opportunity, maybe there is you know, transformation is definitely in the works here for you. You might need more time to kind of think about things. You know, you've been hurt in the past and you're suspicious of people. So there could be like suspicion. I mean, I think that there's definitely like opportunity here, but you're being extra cautious. And, you know, maybe you need to. I mean, when I think about Capricorn, Pluto is in your sign, right? So that's perfect, actually, that this card came up, because this is the Pluto card. So you are undergoing a transformation. Pluto will not leave your sign until like 2023, 2024. And that is when really the whole cycle will be complete. And there'll be something new for you. But for this month, you know, like it's almost like through a sexual experience, like it becomes overwhelming for you and like too much to bear, and then maybe you are suspicious or you know, trying to, I don't know, it's almost like, let me pull one more card. Yeah, it's almost like, you know, you have to make a choice on this. You know, you have to kind of break free from your old habits. I guess that's where the transformation would come in. And you have to really trust the higher purpose. You have to trust spiritual. You have to trust that things are happening the way that they should, and that you really shouldn't question it too much. And trust the opportunities that come in. And, you know, don't be afraid to like look within, but also, you know, this is kind of saying don't go too far within, because that, you know, that can be bad as well. Yeah, I mean, Capricorn, I think this is really all about transforming who you were. You know, and maybe if you're in the same relationship, it's just undergoing a new cycle, a death and a rebirth, perhaps, and you're kind of hanging on to old stuff that, you know, you really need to put down. Like this is saying that you need to put down whatever. Maybe like there was some kind of, I don't know, maybe there was some kind of sexual bond with this person, and, you know, you're not ready to let go, but you need to. You know, this is like you're mentally attached still, but you need to not be mentally attached. You kind of have to let go, stop obsessing, you know, and just like suspicious. So maybe you need like a timeout perhaps in your relationships, you know, that it might help you transform. You know, you don't understand why things are happening. There's a higher purpose, and through turmoil, so through some kind of radical change, your blessing will be revealed. So it's almost like you need a timeout to stop and think about things and kind of clear your mind before you jump into anything else. All right, Capricorn, have a great August. Okay, so Aquarius, what card is for you? Oops, I think we found it. Friendship. Okay, so friendship. Nurture the bonds of friendship within your relationship, and your love life will dramatically improve. So this is your message for August. And let's clarify why that's here. So why is friendship here for Aquarius? Spirit guides, tell us why. Friendship, why is it here? All right, so we have, all right, so okay, so it looks like there was a slow opportunity, maybe a sexual relationship that kind of took you, you know, out of a comfort zone. Maybe you were stuck in a rut, and this relationship kind of woke you back up and kind of got you out of, you know, kind of got you out of your comfort zone. It does look like the relationship was not maybe at its highest vibration. We have the feminine energy here reversed. So perhaps, you know, perhaps we had somebody like, you know, coming out of a breakup, or, you know, maybe, you know, it was like a kind of a rebound. It started out like as a rebound thing. Let's see. But it does look like there's a new beginning with the Page of Wands. So if you are still in the same relationship, it looks like you have to kind of find your passion together again. It looks like that there is sexual connection here, but it's like you have to have more than that. It's like you have to have passion together and similar interests, and maybe even, you know, like when I think of wands, like wands is sex, yes, but wands is also like exercise, you know, activities, and but it does look like, you know, it has to be like the friendship has to be the basis of it, because it feels out of balance. It feels like there's a willingness to nurture the friendship, but it's like something gets in the way, whether it be like other people, or, you know, even like, you know, things that are happening that, you know, that it's like one of you has to let go of some things in order for that to happen. Like the opportunity is there because the page is here, right? He's a messenger. He's saying, hey, you know, we need to bond in a different way, or we need to bond additionally. And, you know, besides that, and, you know, the page is like, it's an opportunity at its very infancy. It's not mature yet. But then we have, you know, the reversed Six of Wands, and it's saying, you know, that, you know, maybe there's like a fall here, you know, like somebody feels like they're not, sorry, it's my dogs. Somebody feels like they're not doing enough, or they're not fighting enough. You know, they're just kind of, it's almost like, you know, they're not doing anything really. Like they're just kind of, they want to do things maybe, but they just are letting others kind of direct it. And they don't know how to put it almost like in order. And this card here is saying, you know, that they're just hanging on. They're not trusting. So the overall message of friendship, no, Aquarius is all about friendship. It's about, you know, it's the 11th house in astrology. So it's groups you belong to, it's people you belong to. And maybe, you know, maybe you just need the right group of friends that, you know, brings you to a higher vibration rather than a lower vibration. But, you know, it's like you're hanging on to something for dear life. And that's what these cards say to me. And it's not real anyway. Whatever you're hanging on to, it's not real. You got to let it go, and you got to trust that your love life's going to improve through, you know, friendship. I feel like I need to pull another card. Yeah, through the release of whatever you've been hanging on to, through the release of the mental stuff that's going on, is only when you'll start healing, and friendship is going to help you bond with this person. But there's wounds here. There's wounds that need to be healed. So it's like you have to let them go. You have to let them drop, or, you know, you're just going to stay stagnant. Like there's going to be no growth. Now, Aquarius is a fixed sign. It doesn't like to grow. It doesn't like to change. But what this is saying is that change is needed, or, you know, this relationship is not going to improve. So you have to be willing. You have to be willing to let go. You have to be willing to be passionate. You have to be willing to be adventurous. And you have to be willing to let the mental stuff go before it can get any better. All right, Aquarius. Have a great August. Okay, Pisces. So, what love message do we have for Pisces this month? Okay, so deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Okay, very appropriate for Pisces, because you guys are the psychics of the zodiac. So let's see. Why is it here? Why is this message here for Pisces? Pisces. Why is it here? Okay. So looks like we have a relationship perhaps that kind of went bad. It's almost like, you know, you were overwhelmed, or like maybe even attacked. You know, you had to make a decision on a relationship, but maybe there was a soulmate connection here, but I don't know, others got in the way, something happened. You know, I always say that, you know, we have many soulmates, and when our karma is served, the cycle has to regenerate. And you know this as a Pisces, because, you know, Pisces are the closest to the other realm. And I think the cycle was just up in that karmic relationship that you had, but it was very passionate and very heavy. And yeah, and you really have had to be strong to kind of come out of it. But there was a lot of sexual bonding and a lot of soulmate stuff going on, and you actually felt probably pretty empowered by it, but it almost seems like it threw you off, kind of by surprise, and maybe dimmed your light for a while, kind of made you a little bit pessimistic, um, you know, kind of overwhelmed, and maybe thinking that, you need a break, or, like you might have been getting pessimistic and being like, all men are bad or all women are bad, and maybe you just needed like a break. So if you are currently in that state, that's great. If you're currently still in this relationship, you may need to get out. Or if, you're in a committed partnership and, that's not an option, then you need to seek counseling. I often see this as counseling. So it's possible that there could be counseling needed, or if this relationship was bad enough, perhaps you need to go see a counselor, if this really rocked your world, this relationship. But if you are in a committed partnership and this is happening, then I would say the both of you could use some counseling. If you are coming out of a relationship and there could possibly be a mental connection with another person, it would probably be at the very beginning stages of, just kind of talking maybe with somebody, but, maybe that's to give you hope. Maybe this person is making you come out of your time out a little bit, and take it slow. This is telling me that you need to take it slow in steps. Because this could be something really nice, and you want to make sure that you're not going to go too quickly, because you could overindulge. So you want to take it slow. If you do see a counselor, or you seek your own advice for mental health, I just suggest that you do that. That's needed. You have to regenerate your thought process, because this person, they did make you kind of feel a little bit hopeless. They made you feel like, wow, things were great, and now, wow, they really suck. So and your message is deep in your heart. What feels right. The answer. So you probably know that maybe mentally you need to get right, but also that there's somebody coming in that you could actually have, a soulmate relationship with, or, a new connection with, and you have to kind of get rid of the old way of thinking. This relationship almost looks like it was a blip, and you can't judge all the rest of your relationships based on that relationship, because it was weird. It was different. It was out of the ordinary. But there's something more stable coming in. So definitely, this is completely different than what you had before. And if you are in a relationship, or, in a marriage or something, then, maybe if you go to counseling and you kind of, come out of your mental, your current mental stuck state, then you guys could enjoy each other again. That is my advice. All right, Pisces, have a great month.